doggy.
The lowest number of deaths since the week to October the 22nd. Of course, precedes the discovery of the Omicron variant. From this morning, new travel restrictions have come into force as the UK tightens its border policy amid concern over the Omicron variant. Anyone aged 12 and above wishing to travel to the United Kingdom must show a negative pre-departure test, either a lateral flow or a PCR within 48 hours of departure. And after arriving in the United Kingdom, travellers will have 2 days to do the PCR test and they'll have to isolate until they receive their results. Nigeria is the latest country to be added to the travel red list, which has tougher entry rules. Only British or Irish nationals or UK residents are allowed to enter the UK from these countries, and they'll have to pay to quarantine
Like that stuff on that.
hotel.
Good. It's on
And
the
this
list.
evening at 7 o'clock, we'll have a panel of experts here on Sky News to answer your questions about the situation and the new COVID variant in particular. Please feel free to email in your questions to the address on your screen now. That's news@sky.com, or you can WhatsApp the number 07583 000853.
So if you notice, he's not one paw's going on, but he's not casually putting it on. He's just, oh right, okay, and one paw back. Stuff on that. So at this point, all the stations are quite close together.
China expresses strong dissatisfaction and is strongly opposed to the US's position. China has lodged solemn representations to the US and will make resolute countermeasures. In the absence of an invitation, the US linked the attendance of government officials to the so-called human rights issue in Xinjiang. This completely confuses the right from the wrong, compounds the mistakes, and deceives themselves and others.
For more now on our top story, the claims from a whistleblower about failures in the Foreign Office during the evacuation of Afghanistan. Claims that the man who was Foreign Secretary at the time, Dominic Raab, now Justice Secretary, has denied. Joining us now is the UK Ambassador to Afghanistan, Sir Nicholas Kay. Thank you very much indeed for being with us, Sir Nicholas. I suppose the key question is, bearing in mind the chaos of this summer, was the British performance adequate in terms of getting out the people that it needed to help?
Thanks, Adam. And first of all, let me just say I'm a former UK ambassador.
Again, he's not speaking that tarpaulin.
No,
I think one suit went that did come off pretty quick.
Looking from the outside, looking in. I agree with Dominic Raab's characterisation that there were Herculean and heroic efforts made by officials and MOD staff and soldiers throughout the evacuation, and a lot was achieved. But I also very much applaud and salute Raphael Marshall's evidence that he's given, very detailed, very serious evidence.
Quite methodical. He hasn't went woohoo and going running around to see what he's eaten all the good stuff, and now he's went back and got the not so good stuff. And all those 3 items, yet there's 2 items here. He hasn't bolted onto them.
I think what resonates is that this was a unprecedented scale of challenge to which internal systems seem to struggle to rise. For me, I mean, we shouldn't be now in a blame game.
He's doing that, I think, with all his own tweets over the last.
This should be a learning game, and that's what the Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm sure, is setting out. I recall in the Foreign Office, for example, after the Bali bombings, you may remember those at the beginning of 2000s, dreadful event, that was a seminal moment for Foreign Office crisis planning and crisis response, because we were found wanting then. I suspect this is a seminal moment as well, and there will be a lot of lessons that need to be learned.
He says on time for blame, but what about the performance of the Foreign Secretary at the time, who apparently, well, we know was on holiday for some of the key periods, but also according to...
So the reason why sometimes we do put things on different levels is that does my job Is it easy for my dog to stretch down to the ground, or does he prefer it higher up? So it can tell you, free work's got lots of different uses. It can, sometimes be used as a diagnostic tool. Depend, if you think your dog's maybe got something not quite right with its legs, where the weight bearing can tell you a lot of stuff. Not that there's anything like that. We're using it for a different method. We're looking to get the dopamine and serotonin levels going in his brain, so we've got a calmer dog.
This whole question of Foreign Office response and looking after people, looking after nationals, I mean, I think it's fair to say that for one reason or another, the British Foreign Office does not have a good reputation for looking after its nationals compared to the performance of other countries. Would you accept that?
No, I really wouldn't, Adam. I think, over the years, the UK has demonstrated its ability to respond to significant crises, consular crises, terrorist incidents, and acquitted itself very well. But, that is not to say that this particular crisis, which was immense and it was mostly affecting Afghan nationals who were in danger and requiring our assistance, that everything went well in this case at all. I mean, it clearly didn't. I mean, apart from learning, I think, Adam, we also need to still be acting, and I really hope that this sort of, examination of what went wrong over the summer, and it's right to examine that, doesn't detract from acting now. I mean, there are Afghans who are still vulnerable and requiring help. The government announced the Afghan Citizens Resettlement Scheme for up to 5,000 this year, and that has not yet launched. It is not open. And that is, I think, really scandalous. It needs to be launched, and so Afghans who are vulnerable can apply for it. Similarly, Afghans who've arrived here, they need sort of more support. Operation Warm Welcome is underway, but it's not always working. There are bureaucratic hitches, getting permission to work, getting permission to open bank accounts. Lots of things can be improved on that score as well.
I mean, what's the blockage? Why haven't these schemes been launched? They've been promised, they've been announced in Parliament and applauded. Why haven't they been launched? Where's the problem?
I can only imagine, in only an imagination, that it's just very, very complex. It involves lots of different government departments with interests that need to be pulled together. So it's complex, I guess, would be the answer from that. But I can't see any reason now, more than 3 months after the scheme was
Has 8 minutes.
I just think kept him busy at good point.
And in neighbouring countries haven't got that route to apply.
But the fact remains, does it not, compared to other countries, the United States, Germany, France, we have managed to help a smaller proportion of people who came to us than they have.
Honestly, I'm not on top of those figures at all. I think everybody has struggled to do what they
That was
can.
only like a soup spoon's amount of was it cheese spread.
Aye, vanilla cheese.
And has risen, to the challenge.
Amazing.
But yeah, I don't think there's any grounds at all for complacency here. And
Oh, look at that, they're brilliant.
It is looked at, the response over the summer, but I think also the response in the months leading up to it. All this year, how much priority was given to Afghanistan within government? How much priority?
He's going to take a pattern of it.
Planning, but also took account of its worst case possible scenario, which is what we saw, rather than just a best case scenario.
So Nicholas, thank you very much indeed. Former Ambassador to Afghanistan 2017-2019 there. You're watching All That Politics. Coming up next, threats of an imminent invasion emerging off the military gather on Ukraine's borders. We'll discuss that with the Latvian Foreign Minister in a moment.
Oh, me, Frank. That good.